This week on Culture Q,
Keke Palmer makes a legendary debut.
Coachella gets the queer treatment.
And a college student graduates with pride.
What is going on? It is Lalwani.
And I'm Shira Lazar. This is Culture Q.
And here's some of the highlights from this week in queer culture.
We've got our first look at the third season of HBO Max's hit show Legendary this week, and from what we've seen, it's giving us tens, tens, tens across the board.
You ready for this?
Hold up.
Voguing is an expression. It's supposed to be about
Passion.
family, drama.
Hold up.
Damn!
Welcome to Legendary.
The acclaimed ballroom competition show is set to showcase 10 new houses as they face off against each other in a series of weekly balls, competing in categories like Vogue, Face, and Body, all with the hopes of achieving both the legendary title and the $100,000 grand prize. Returning to the judges panel are La Roche, Jamila Jamil, and the queen of voguing herself, Leomi Maldonado, who definitely knows the importance of having a safe space like ballroom to live your truth.
Being your most authentic self will get you the furthest. And that's what the show has.
And while we're set to see a lot of familiar faces on the panel, this season we're also welcoming a new judge to shake things up. Taking over for Megan Thee Stallion is actor, singer, and bicon Keke Palmer, who we can already tell is going to bring some hot takes to the table, as well as some much needed laughs.
I wanted to jump up, but the way that this dress is set up, I have to stay seated.
And if that's not enough, we even have some Drag Race royalty competing this season. Season 9 Queen Aja will be returning to your screens this month, who you might remember from this absolutely iconic Drag Race moment.
You're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, you're a model.
Yep, it seems like this season will be full of all-star talent, jaw-dropping drama, and guest judges who will leave you gagging, so you are definitely not going to want to miss it. You can catch the premiere of Legendary Season 3 later this month when the first 2 episodes drop on HBO Max May 19th.
The 2022 music festival season has officially kicked off this month, and the Revry team headed to the mother of all festivals, Coachella, to get a look at how these spaces are getting even more queer. After 2 years off because of the COVID-19 pandemic, Coachella returned with some exciting new updates like Q+, a new initiative that aims to create a safe haven for the LGBTQ and BIPOC communities.
Yeah, Queer Plus is just showing representation at Coachella and festivals, that knowing like the LGBTQ plus community is here and that we do exist and that we have such an impact at festivals and the music in general, and just showing and being proud of who you are and showing your flag and showing to represent yourself and not giving a damn what others have to say, but also saying that we exist and we belong here as well.
And to be fabulous,
Yeah,
of course.
So
happy to be here. I literally built a family. I met them like literally 4 days ago and we came along. Yeah, and we're such a family now.
And the Q+ tent wasn't the only space giving queer people a real platform. There were also plenty of performances taking to the stage this year, offering messages of hope to their LGBTQ fans, like the French disco group La Imperatrice.
Trust yourself and, make no compromise and don't listen to anybody that can, tell you what to do, who to be, or, whatever. Just trust yourself and be yourself.
And Coachella isn't the only music festival that's making us proud. Los Angeles is preparing to put on its 3rd annual Out Loud Raising Voices Music Festival, an LGBTQ-focused event that takes place during Pride Month. This year's festival is set to feature queer artists like Dorian Electra, The Aces, and Drag Race stars Cornbread Jeté and Mo Hart, as well as gay icons like Jessie J, Marina, and Lil Kim. It's exciting to see more and more music festivals are catering to a queer audience and providing safe havens in spaces that are often hetero-dominated. And if you'd like to watch more of those interviews from Revry's time at Coachella, you can watch them all right here on our YouTube channel.
Miami has always been a great vacation spot for many, but for the LGBTQ community, it seems to be much more than that. And trust me, after this, you'll definitely want to book your flight soon. Here's Dan Rios, Director of LGBTQ Marketing for Greater Miami Convention Visitors Bureau.
Greater Miami and Miami Beach has been welcoming LGBTQ plus visitors for for decades. It started in the 90s, but it continues now. Just in 2021, we welcomed 1.8 million visitors, overnight visitors to our destination. And in addition to that, about 900,000 day trippers. So we really welcome about 2.7 million visitors every year that self-identify as LGBTQ+. So it's a big, important segment of our visitor base.
That's amazing. And why Miami? Why do you think, for the community?
Honestly, I think it has to do with the range of experiences. So, we love to be outside and we love the beach, but there's also so much culture and, art and culture and dining. We have an amazing dining scene that we just, we're foodies for the most part. So that, and also that the Latin flavor, we are a mix of cultures from Latin America, and that really adds a lot of flavor to our destination. And people really enjoy that. The community really enjoys that. It's like being in a different country, but we're in our own country here.
Definitely. And of course, there's a lot of LGBTQ+ events going on too.
Tons. We have 16 annual LGBTQ+ events. So throughout the year, some of our biggest is Miami Beach Pride. That is our biggest event that welcomes 170,000 people to the event. Also, Winter Party is hugely popular. It's the best, beach circuit party that you can imagine. But also, like I mentioned, art and culture events. We have our Gazel that happens during our Miami Art Week in December. And then we have Gay Ocho Festival. It's a great event. It's the largest Hispanic LGBTQ+ festival in the country. Plus film festivals, you name it, in the spring or in early summer, we get a little hotter, so we welcome Sizzle Miami Beach and Sweet Heat, which are urban events for men and women. That's also great stuff.
Oh my God, so many things. And I still need to check out Art Basel. So what are the must-see neighborhoods? Where should people be staying?
Well, without a doubt, in South Beach, that is our hub. That is the core of our community. The visitor center is there. We have our 2 LGBTQ+ properties there, like Axel Beach, Miami, and Hotel Gathering that has been there for a while. And both of them are not just accommodations, but they have a lot of programming that they offer throughout the week, with different themes every night. At Hotel Gathering, they have bingo night and trivia night. They have a great sports tournaments that they have on Sundays. And afterwards, it is the absolute funnest place to be because they continue the contest, into Sunday. But so South Beach, without a doubt. And then if you come across the Intercoastal, Little Havana has a lot to offer. Like I mentioned, Gay Ocho Festival that happens there, it's a great intersection of that Latin and Cuban aspect of Miami and the queer community. So Little Havana for sure. Little Haiti is the queer capital of Miami with Villain Theater, and the House of Improv is the only queer improv in Florida. And then Wynwood, where there's color, there are queer people. There's a lot of murals. It's like an outdoor museum. Also, some of the great restaurants, Our House, they have an amazing drag brunch there. So it's a wonderful neighborhood to explore as well.
So we've talked about the parties and events that Miami has, but what's something that's very unique that we might not know about that we should check out when we go there?
Very few people make it all the way out to the Everglades. I have this incredible experience with Houston Cypress. He is a two-spirit poet and an activist, friend of the Everglades movement. Love the Everglades movement is under his realm. And he does LGBTQ tours of the Everglades. And it's actually an amazing way to connect with friends and with nature. And what's best of all is you can enjoy all that and 45 minutes later be back in your hotel for cocktails and dinner.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible. Thank you for sharing that. And for more, you can check out their website, miamiandmiamibeach.com. Safe travels.
And now it's time to take a look at all of the LGBTQ news you need to know. First up this week, the inaugural Asian Pride Games kicked off last Friday in Taiwan, showcasing a beautiful rainbow-filled ceremony where hundreds of queer athletes gathered to finally celebrate the event after COVID-19 restrictions postponed it for over a year. Over the course of the games, 2,500 Taiwanese athletes and over 250 athletes from around the world will face off in sports like swimming, dodgeball, and track, as well as cultural events like mahjong competition and cosplay contests. The president of the Taiwan Gay Sports and Movement Association, Yang Chi-chun, shared, "We worked very hard to make the event happen. We hope that by hosting it in Taiwan, other Asian countries can see hopes for equality in same-sex marriage and in sports." Up in Canada, we've got a bit of good news in the public health space, as Health Canada moved to get rid of the ban on queer men and other LGBTQ folks donating blood. Under the new policy going into effect at the end of September, Anyone interested in donating blood or plasma will be given a sexual behavior questionnaire, regardless of their orientation. In their statement, Health Canada said, "Today's authorization is a significant milestone toward a more inclusive blood donation system nationwide and builds on progress and scientific evidence made in recent years." Finally, back here in the States, U.S. Assistant Secretary of Health Rachel Levine spoke out against the recent wave of anti-LGBTQ legislation that has been sweeping the U.S. Speaking to NPR ahead of her appearance at the Out for Health conference, a medical conference focusing on challenges faced by the LGBTQ community, she said, "These negative and discriminatory actions and laws are politically based. It's not public health based. It's not medically based in any way." And she offered a message of hope to any trans and non-binary youth out there saying, "You have tremendous worth just for who you are, no matter who you love, no matter your gender identity. Be true to that, and then everything else will follow." And that's your look at all the LGBTQ news you need to know.
Beyond bringing you Culture Q Weekly, Revry is home to some amazing content, and we're here to help you navigate what to watch with our weekly Revry streaming guide. First up is Baby Steps. Produced by Oscar winner Lee Kang-soo, this multicultural family comedy follows Danny and his partner Tate as they navigate the complicated world of international surrogacy, all while dealing with Danny's meddling mom who attempts to control every aspect of it, all the way from Taipei. Next up is the 2017 comedy Dating My Mother. Just in time for Mother's Day, this film starring Catherine Irby, Patrick Riley, and Kathy Najimy tells the story of a single mother and her gay son as they navigate the world of online dating, each trying to find their own Mr. Right. The film explores this beautiful and sometimes tumultuous relationship, all while keeping the laughs coming. And last on this week's list is the teen dramedy Gay Mean Girls. Chronicling the life of a young woman named Lucy Kim, Gay Mean Girls follows her journey dealing with the ins and outs of planning prom and trying to impress her best friend Miranda, a feminist lesbian beauty guru. But in the end, Lucy learns that the only person that can define you is you. Remember, you can find all of these amazing titles and more streaming right now, right here on Revry.
And finally, we're closing things off today with some Culture Q inspiration. This one goes out to a recent college grad and her amazing act of defiance against her homophobic school. Jillian Orr, a student at Brigham Young University, went viral after a series of TikToks she posted exposing some of the Mormon University's more heinous and outright homophobic classroom assignments.
So this has to be the most homophobic thing I've ever seen at BYU. So a little bit of context, this is a quiz that I had to take in my marriage and family class, which was required for my psychology degree. And not only were my grades reliant upon how much I dated members of the opposite sex and my interactions and relationships with them, my grade also was determined by these quizzes.
The quiz essentially teaches students that the only way for LGBTQ people to be happy is to, quote, live according to the gospel plan, also known as being straight. Of course, this is something that didn't sit well with Orr, especially as she progressed through her years at the school and realized that she's bisexual. In an interview with Today, she said that she started to realize my actions and beliefs were not lining up, but I came to the realization that this is who I was and it was beautiful. And after hiding who she was for so long, she defied the school's rules and let her true identity finally shine at the graduation ceremony.
How you like that?
Orr's little sister was the one who came up with the idea for her to make a statement on stage and helped her sew the rainbow flag into her gown, and it's now captured the world's attention. When asked what her message would be to the other LGBTQ people in the Mormon church, she said, "I hope that they recognize that the sooner they live their life authentically, the sooner they can tap into true happiness." Okay, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
I really wish I had that graduation gown when I was graduating.
Right? I mean, it's never too late though. Where are our wardrobe people that we don't have?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes, on that note, I'm Shira Lazar.
It's Lalwani signing off as well.
Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out here on Culture Q this week again.
Obviously, be sure to join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live and always on demand, right here on Revry.